once we get this knowledge, we learn about the languages, we learn about the history, we learn about the culture. Because a lot of times you see it's just we getting the knowledge, we having the debates, but from your perspective, what is the next step? Do we use this knowledge and um apply it to the situations that we're in now? We stay in the ghettos that we in and fight gentrification and build them up, or do we separate? Do we buy some acres of land and do like the Amish and start from scratch and build something? We have our own bakery, our own butchery, our own bank, or do we leave the country? Do we actually go back to Africa with this information? It's like what is the next step, if you can understand what I'm saying, just from your perspective.
I believe I understand. And yes, it's really kind of um a twofold answer, because there's of course the things that we got to do as a collective. But then, coming from a general African perspective, every one of us has our own journey and our own purpose, which we have to fulfill, which may not necessarily align or may not have an immediate global impact, but is necessary, in your and your family's development and journey. And so, first and foremost, a lot of, for example, when you're reading, especially like religious material, what you're going to be primarily dealing with is how to develop good character. That is always going to be the foundation, no matter what move you do. Because if going back to the name Osiris, Osir, it is a word that has to deal with someone who is of good character, who is a stand up guy. It literally means to prop up, to stand up, to lean on. It doubles as a word for a pillar, and a pillar is what holds up a building, a structure, or whatnot. It's in essence, it's a word by metaphoric extension for integrity, because it's integrity that keeps things um, up, and operating. So regardless to what your goals is, you're going to have to be a person of good character, of stand-up character, of one of integrity. Because if no matter what your endeavor is, if you are not a person of good character and integrity, your mission will fail. And then you will plant a seed of distrust in your people and anybody coming after you who has similar goals and is requesting or asking of the community to help and support. So when you're dealing with these African systems, they understood this very well and intimately. So that's what you always got to ground yourself in. Then, of course, when you're just dealing with a historical perspective, now you're kind of seeing, okay, how did we get here in this space now? And so, what must be done from here? So, we're going to have to create institutions and all of this. And this is where I mean by, what is your own path? If you have that passion and desire for education, then I would recommend putting a plan together ultimately for having a sovereign educational institute and system. That's your contribution. Um, you know, if you are a person that wants to deal with health, but don't necessarily want to be a doctor, but you have a passion for holistic foods and things. Well, maybe you need to create a farming space or help others create urban farms if we can't get the bigger land. So all of that, even in the context of the United States, there's some that, their mission is we need to create a space for ourselves on the continent. And so, you may need to travel to the continent and set up shop and prepare those who want to come back and repatriate. And so there's many different things that can be done with this information. So like if you are attracted to the stories of, Ptah in the ancient Egyptian literature, or Ogun, these all have to deal with architecture and building and things of that nature. So you need to go to school for the architectural engineering sciences. And then you need to be able to take that information and create something that allows for you to be able to help build up these communities. So if I'm a person that, you know, has invested in real estate and I want to build up a community, let's say that, you know, by the time we get there, gentrification happened. Oh well, you can always find some other land and build up a new community. And so, but I want to hire black engineers. I want to hire black architects and things that they. So we need individuals to be able to go and be qualified in those fields, so that when the our black investors come in, we can pull together our resources and that money can circulate. And so we need people to go into law. And so when, you know, if you are attracted to the concept of Ma'at in ancient Egypt, for example, and, you know, you need to take those principles and understanding and bring them into the law space. And in terms of defending the rights and things of, you know, saying your people. Um, so you know you have to create a law firm and do all these different things, but some people, they want to be able to change the laws, so they're going to have to go into Congress and fight that way, or they will, even if they travel and become citizens somewhere else, getting involved in the politics in there. And so even when you're going into these foreign spaces, you need to know the cultures, in order. You just can't come and just, you know, plant your feet and say, hey, we should do this, not understanding the history and the culture and worldview of the people for which you're coming and settling amongst, you know, on the continent of Africa. So all of this information is relevant to, you know, what it is that you're going to do. You're just going to have to learn how to be inspired and how to utilize, and not necessarily wait for others to tell you how you can utilize the information. You know, you work on your own creativity and learn how to be inspired. Once you learn how to be inspired and be creative, no matter what you read, you'll know how to use it, you know, in the various fields and endeavors that you find yourself in this space and time.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I truly appreciate you breaking that down, man. Most
Indeed.
definitely. It's definitely been an honor. I truly appreciate you coming on the show. Before we get out of here, just let them know one more time where they can catch the show at, where they can get the books at. You got a
Mhm.
website, you know, anything.
No problem, no problem. Yes, you can find me basically on all the social media platforms, whether it be Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, um, Facebook, of course, Twitter, and you know, either way it goes, you're gonna find me under Asar Imhotep. So I don't think there's too many Asar Imhoteps, you know, out in the world, at least with that combination in the name. So it's pretty easy to find me. And then, of course, you can go to asarimhotep.com. And so that is my main hub. And then, of course, and you could purchase my books there. And then, of course, the Madu Andela Press. And so that's MADUNDELA Press, PRESS.com, MaduAndelaPress.com. And so it has definitely been an honor, and we, you know, have to do it again. And um, I look forward to that conversation, and I do appreciate this conversation. And so, for all of you who are listening, make sure that you like the video, and if you are not subscribed to our brother's channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and you share this video and other videos that he has done. And let's increase, you know, awareness of platforms such as this that allows for these conversations to happen. And you know, we work together on learning how to be inspired and help one another. And you can do that simply by liking and sharing the video and subscribing to channels such as this, and especially this channel. So with that, I say peace.
All right, peace, family.
Indeed.